Here is another example of executing a file as a script, okay, and executing modules as script. So here I'm going to show you one example, one Google search application. So if you search something online, then the required results will be populated in the output. That's what we are trying to do here. So we have this file here, Google search 3.py, which contains the functions for performing searches that will scrape the results as a fictional web search engine like Google, and executing the file as a script, it will produce the following output. So what output it is? Okay, before seeing the output, let's review our code over here. So in the try except block, I have from the Google search um, library, we are importing the search module, and in the search module, we have the search function, and there is a certain template of this function that we must follow in order to do the search in the Google website. Okay, so first, you may need to install the Google package as well. So after installing the Google package, then the required function and its parameters are needed. So let's say that while you are doing the Google search, if some error occurs, some kind of unprecedented event occurs, so in that case you will see this type of error: no module named Google is found, displayed in the output. If we don't have any sort of error, then the query, that is the string, what we want to search for in the Google, that is stored in a variable query. Then in the for loop, okay, trying to implement the require search function and its parameters. So these are individual parameters: query, TLD, lang, num, stop, and pause. I'm going to explain each of them individually. So query is a string that you want to search for. TLD, the next one I'm coming to TLD. So TLD stands for top level domain, which means we want to search our result on google.com or google.in or some other domain. Then language, in which you want to search to the search, it's basically English. So here for that, the short format value en is assigned to it. Then num is the number of results that you want, that is total 10. Then you have stop. So stop means what is the last result to retrieve. So the last result is 5, so total 5 results will be displayed. Then you have pause. Pause means it's the elapsed time to wait between HTTP requests. So in order to see each of the outputs returned by the Google search based on your query, so you need to wait for a certain um, request to be populated or see to be seen in the output, and it's based on the lapse to wait between HTTP requests. So the lapse is too short and it may cause the Google to block your IP. So it keeps the significant lapse, and that will help to make your program slow, but it's safe and better option. If it takes some time, elapsed time in between, that's good for your code. Then okay, so that's all we have in the search function. So let me run the code and see what output we are having here. Yeah, so these are the 5 outputs based on stop equals to 5. 5 links are written from the Google search. It's scraping the results in the search engine and giving the output in here. Now I want to show you something. Let's say we want to import this code from Google Search 3 into another one, domain underscore frequency.py, in another one file. So what happens here? Okay, so the domain frequency is supposed to import the Google Search 3 module, and then creating one list, domains, and in here, whatever um, item you will enter, the search item, whatever you want to search in the Google search engine. So based on that item, it will return the result, and that result, for returning the result, it needs the Google Search 3 search method, that is this one. So basically, it calls the domain frequency module will or script will call the Google Search 3 module. So and then it will show the output. So let me save it and run the code. See what happens now. So this code has now returned the same 5 outputs that you have wanted, and it's basically retrieved from this code over here. And if you press Q, then you can quit from the code. That's fine. I'm going to make some changes to my code. So the changes will be, mm, I'm just trying to submit this section in here, and adding the name as main. Okay, so here what will happen, so let me just show you the change. So I just saved the Google search 3 and tried to run it. uh, so let's see if it's giving us the output. Yes, it gave us the output. Now when I'll do the same thing. So in the last case, when I have not added this many statements in the Google search 3, so at that point of time, the domain frequency was able to import everything from Google search 3 script. So now let's, with having all the changes being applied, let me try to run again. Now here I will enter the search terms based on this input, and now it's supposed to give us some output, but see, it's taking so much time and it's not able to retrieve all the outputs that we heard earlier. Why is that? Because as we have made changes to this Google search 3 py, so it has been modified to compare the name to the main. Okay, so when the file is executed as a script, a single search request is made and the results are displayed, okay, from the Google search 3. But executing the domain frequency.py, it will import the Google search 3. Not a problem, it imports it, but which now doesn't perform the initial search because here the name is equals to main. That's why the domain is not able to execute it. So these are different ways of um, executing the file or module as a script. Okay.